Do you ever feel like you're stuck in a never-ending loop or cycle with someone, having the same fight, it's just a different day, having the same arguments over and over and over again? Well, at that point, it stops becoming just about communication and it starts to look more like some triggers are coming up for you both. And that's what we're going to talk about today. If you don't know me yet, my name is Dr. Vanessa Milagros, and I'm a licensed mental health professional. On this channel, I talk about all things relationships and mental health topics. So if you're interested in anything like that, make sure to subscribe, like, and leave me a comment down below so I know that these are the types of videos that you want to continue to see from me. Let's get started. When disagreements continue, it's rarely about the thing. It's more about your unmet emotional needs underneath it all. The thing that no one seems to be saying out loud. So for instance, you don't listen to me. That might mean I don't feel important enough to you. Maybe them saying, well, why do you always pull away? Could really mean I'm scared of losing you. So even when the content of the argument changes, the unspoken fears that you both have internally, that continues the same patterns. So what's happening here is you're probably stuck in what most psychologists term pursue withdrawal cycle or anxious avoidance cycle, where one person escalates trying to connect while the other one shuts down in order to protect themselves. Both people feel hurt, misunderstood, and nobody gets their needs met. Dr. Sue Johnson, who actually was the creator of EFT, she found that most fights, especially the ones that are reoccurring in a relationship, are actually protests of emotional disconnect between the two individuals, not about logic, attachment. Let me give you some examples so that we can really grasp this concept. So let's say that you're arguing about being late. Maybe what you're really saying underneath is you don't feel prioritized. Maybe you're the one who says, well, you never help me. But really, you're carrying such a heavy emotional burden and overload for you, them, your family, your responsibilities, and you're hoping that they'll actually notice instead of you having to vocalize that to them for once. Or maybe you notice that they constantly shut down whenever you bring anything up and you feel like, what is happening? Why can't I bring anything up without you trying to run away or withdraw or shutting me out? Maybe it's not that they don't care about you. Maybe it's that any form of conflict or disagreement that feels unsafe for them and they feel that they have to go. This isn't about blame. It isn't about you're wrong and I'm right. It's about what your individual nervous system learned growing up. What was safe and what wasn't. How to protect yourself and what not to do. So let's talk about 3 things that you can start to implement today in order to actually work through this and not continue to have the same fights over and over and over again. I will preface this and say that this works the best when both partners have decided we're going to work on these things together to be better. Not when one partner is giving 100%, 100%, 100%, and the other partner isn't. So the first thing I want you to do is stop coming in hot. Stop coming in guns a-blazing. Nope, not going to work. They're going to get on the defense. We know this. Instead, try something different. So instead of starting with blame and frustration, just let them know, I know this isn't easy to talk about, but I want to have that connection with you. I want to understand. Can we try this again? And I'll listen first. Once you listen to your partner, then I want you to take the extra step and say, okay, this is what I heard you say. Is that correct? And they're going to say yes, or they're going to say, yes, but you forgot this. Okay. This is also what you said. Is that correct? Yes. Okay. I hear you. It's important to let the other person know, I hear you, and actually do it. Because a lot of these things are based off, I don't feel heard, I don't feel seen, and I don't feel understood. And so when both partners are on the same page of, this is hard, this sucks, we don't want to do this at all. We're used to going in our cycle, in our circle, in our loop. We're used to that. It's easier. It comes more natural. But we've decided that we're not going to continue that way anymore because it's not helping either one of us. This is where the intentional effort after the acknowledgement comes into play in order for you both to make the choice. See, this is where I'm saying if only one of you is doing this, both of you have to be consistent in trying this. And that's why I always recommend therapy, couples therapy, to help you work through the hurdles that you are continuously finding difficult to overcome. Second, I want you to identify the pattern, not just the problem. So this means that in the moment, when you start to see yourselves getting into that pattern again, starting the same loop again, somebody's got to be able to call it out right then and there. Wait, hold on. Do you see how we're doing this again? Notice I said we. Do you see how we're engaging like this again? We are trying to be intentional about not doing this anymore. We're doing it right now. Call it out. If your partner is the one calling it out, take a look at that. Don't just say, no, this is not. Don't fight that. Understand where you guys are at, because then you both have a choice to make. You can make a conscious effort of saying, okay, this is the moment. We see that we're about to engage in this pattern, in this cycle. Right now, let's put the dishes, if that's the argument, for example, let's put the dishes topic aside because we're about to go back in this loop and we're not trying to. And ask, where are we missing each other? Where am I missing you? Where are you missing me? And again, a lot of these skills can be developed in couples therapy, but let's keep going. Lastly, I want you to be aware of time. I want you to give space for time. In those moments, getting more and more emotionally heightened, getting more and more upset or heated or sad or whatever it is that's coming up for you, maybe you're being triggered and some trauma is coming up. It's helpful to be able to say, okay, we need time, either individually, alone, to process this, to come back down emotionally, to not allow our emotions, our triggers to attack each other, and instead give space for time in between. But make an agreement that you're going to go back together and you're going to go back to the conversation at hand. So maybe when you have that time, you say, okay, we're noticing the patterns. Let's call it out. Let's take a beat. Let's take a break. You go in your corner and I go in mine, so to speak. But during that time, try some grounding techniques, try some self-soothing techniques, try to understand where you're coming from, what's being triggered for you on your own. The more and more you do it, the simpler it's going to be for you to do it in those moments, the quicker that's going to happen for you, because you're retraining your mind and your body to know, okay, if we're in a heated discussion, if we're in a heated argument, we're going to take a minute. We're going to take a break. During that break, I'm going to come back to me to understand, okay, what's coming up for me? What's happening? Once I really understand what's happening and my partner does the same, we can come back. This is what was coming up for me. And I'm sorry about blah, 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 blah. Your partner listens, acknowledges what you said, can actually repeat what you've said so that you know they have listened, and then you flip and you do the same. And a lot of times you come to find that once again, it's not about the dishes, it's not about whatever came up, it's not about the topic at hand. It's deeper than that. It's something that reminded you of an abusive past relationship. It's a certain word or a phrase or a situation that came up for you that reminded you of something that was painful for you. It's understanding that your partner's not reacting to what you said, they're reacting to something else. And so even if you don't fully understand what that is, you have to look at the person in front of you and say, okay, I'm choosing to be with you. I want to do life with you. I know you're not perfect. So I am okay to give you compassion, grace, space, and understand that there are going to be times you're going to be triggered. There are going to be times that you're not going to react in the ways that I want you to, but we can work through this together. Simpler said than done. It's more difficult when you do it in person. Trust me, it is. But this is why it's important to add helpful resources. Couples therapy. Start reading books on how to make relationships work and how to have healthy romantic relationships. Listen to podcasts on this topic. Work on your own personal growth. That way you can be better not only for yourself, but for your relationship. See, this is the part that I'm saying it has to be intentional work. You have to acknowledge your shortcomings and the ways that you have hurt your partner or the relationship at hand, and then start to work on it over time consistently. And the problem is most people don't want to do that. Most people think it's too hard. It is, but it just depends on how worth it is for you. How worth it is it for you to work on your attachment style as an individual? How important your romantic relationships are, how important your friendships are for you to work on yourself first and then work on those relationships. If you find that you keep repeating the same fight over and over again, it's because your old emotional wounds are yearning, looking for, searching for resolution. And remember that the goal isn't for you to win against your partner. The goal is to understand each other as much as you can and to give grace where grace is needed, hold your partner accountable where they need to be held accountable, set boundaries where they need to be set, and to work towards establishing healthier relationship dynamics with each other. Thank you so much for being here. If you have any questions, leave them down in the comments below. And if you're interested in watching more of my videos, you can watch this one or this one over here. I'll catch you in the next one. Take care.